I don't want to date someone that's below me. I don't. I'm going to be completely honest. And I think that's something that's pushed on Black women a lot is to date under.
The wrong decision.
I'm going to be honest. I don't want to date someone that's below me. I don't. I'm going to be completely honest. And I think that's something that's pushed on Black women a lot is to date under. And I think we always operate in extremes. It doesn't have to be extreme. Just because I'm not going to date a McDonald's worker doesn't mean that I have to date a CEO. So it doesn't have to be in these very extreme social media, one in a lifetime chances. I just want someone I'm going to be able to learn from. And that can be in any field. So it doesn't have to be someone in corporate. I've dated, people who work in construction that make really good money. I've done trade work. I'm a service provider. I've dated other service providers. They make money as well. So it's all about, what we can do together and what can I learn from my partner and what they can learn from me.
Couple different questions here. I know Slimmy is frustrated at it.
Got them big old bosoms out.
Man,
no, those things are sitting in her lap.
I don't even know what she was
memory
talking
glands.
About. I don't know what she was talking about. All I could do is this. Them things sagging.
She need a ball and pull it all the way back.
Boy, you gonna breastfeed all night. I know I want to be up under you. I know I'm gonna be in a relationship with you. Damn. Big ass
For all you women with less than gravitational upright boobs, I'll rock with you. Let them hang where they shall.
Man, listen, man.
No, it's not the fact that they're hanging. It's the fact of how it looks, and the dress just has no.
Yeah, they ain't got no.
It's
they don't have no lift. But them I ain't gonna lie to they, even with them sagging, they still look like we good. They still look like we good.
No. You're not looking at the outfit. You're looking at what you can do with them. I understand that.
Yeah, no, the outfit is garbage. Ooh. I don't know what that is on her legs. It's like her legs is out, but she still got on pants. It looked like it's a onesie, but it's like the legs somehow come out.
I didn't even see her legs.
Yeah, it's kind of tacky because she got.
That's because you couldn't get around the booth sitting in her lap.
No, better than the man. I'm like, that's a lot hanging out there.
Yeah,
Anton is judging his panel right now for talking about breast and not the content.
I would never judge you guys. I think that you guys are awesome.
That is the content.
She's like, look at these fuckeries. Look at these niggers. Like, look at them. Look at them. They can't even stay on task.
To be fair, that goes to the question: what even is on her level? If her level is a little low,
lap.
Look like it's hanging a little low.
Her level is lap. That's exactly what her level is. That is wild.
I think it would kind of benefit Black women to realize. I don't know if we're pushed to date down, but a lot of other demographics, I guess statistically, aren't more educated than the man that they're going to marry. And a lot of the times they don't necessarily make more than him. They kind of let him take the lead and they aren't overly educated the way Black women are. So I think we just compete too much. And if we pulled out and pulled back when it came to some things, we wouldn't be having these issues. I don't really hear stay-at-home moms and homemakers have these problems.
Well, they're stay-at-home moms because they're usually married.
But it comes with a sacrifice, and it comes with
they're not gonna have these conversations.
Probably not being more educated, probably not making more. But Black women are extremely independent. So
I see what you saying.
I think we need to realize our independence is kind of what keeps us single. Then we have these high standards because we're doing too much.
Just eliminating half of the available population.
I think women, because they bought into the feminist agenda, they kind of set themselves on the road to be independent.
I mean, although we bought into it, it was already here. I was not born before the 60s.
Well, let me finish landing my plane. I think this is what comes with being independent, and that's what they don't tell you. They don't tell you that. Yeah. It's an ugly side to being a feminist. Like that you're gonna have problems with this masculine mindset. You're not going to attract the men that you want 9 times out of 10. You're not gonna get the man you want because maybe that's wrong because it is some dudes that want to be pushed around. But a lot of guys who got shit going for them, I don't necessarily think they really want to be pushed around. Like for real. Like they don't want a woman that's just gonna tell them what the fuck they supposed to be doing. And I think that's for some suckers, but hopefully these feminists will learn one day. I really do. I really do, because our community is fucked up because of these women. I'm sorry.
Let me ask y'all another question. What would be criteria to determine whether or not a person is on another person's level? Right? Do you evaluate it?
So first, you have to evaluate realistically what level you're on as yourself before you can even answer that.
How do you determine what that is, though? Like, is it based off of your circumstance? Is it based off of how much money you make? Is it based off of how tall you are? Is it based off of is it different between men and women? Is it where your potential is? How do you determine? Is it your socioeconomic status? Is it your credit score? How do you determine what level that you are on so that you can then vet somebody else, effectively as to whether or not they meet the expectation or they going in the same direction as you?
D, all the above.
I think would be your values. Like, what do you value the most?
Okay.
I don't think your potential can that can't play a part. That's not reality, because you may never reach your potential. So you got to be more realistic based. It has to be your social economic status, and that's where people go wrong, because a lot of people, they don't accept that they're not what they should be cracked up to be.
Do you think that you're a little biased on that one, though, Slimmy? And let me qualify what I'm saying. Because, like, for example, I say a lot of times that if you are, a younger person, 20, 21, 22, 23 years old, and you dating somebody that's your same age, you don't have anything but potential because you haven't achieved anything yet. You're too young to have any kind of accolades to go along with it. Does that change in age brackets? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Maybe I was just speaking from a perspective of someone who's 40 plus.
That's fair.
So
That's
someone who's 20, they got to be based on potential, because they don't have the same background. They haven't made it to a certain point in life where they should be making millions of dollars technically through school. Maybe now there's ways to make millions of dollars, stock, other means, but technically through school, like you're not there yet. That's if you go on that route. So yeah, that was biased. I won't deny that.
Do y'all think that, because I don't know, even observing people, I think that being here in Puerto Rico has kind of colored my perspective a little bit differently, because like I get to see people on vacation, and you don't see as many couples together in the wild in the daytime in your respective city, because people are doing their own thing. You don't know if they're single, you don't know if they're married, they got work, some people doing some stuff, whatever, right? But you get to see people on vacation. That means that they together, they probably at their best, they got matching outfits on, whatever, right? And I don't really see anybody that seems like they match each other. Honestly.
What are you basing that on? Like just how they look together?
You know what I mean when people match.
Well,
Stop.
I think that's a part of the problem that she's going to run into, and any other woman who's operating off of finding someone who's on your level is going to run into, because I think naturally when you think of level, you're going to think of money, you're going to think of like career, you're going to think of success. At least that's what I think of. And even in her video, she was confusing, because on one hand she's like, it doesn't have to just because it won't be a McDonald's worker or whatever, it doesn't mean it's a CEO. I dated somebody who was a this and he was making money. And then she said, but I just want someone to learn from. To me, she's really saying, I want somebody to be on my level financially or more. That's what I really got from her. And I think that goes back to like me with my list. The women who are looking for someone who's on their level, 9 times out of 10, that man doesn't want you because he wants someone who knows how to be a woman to that man on that financial level. So I think that the whole mindset is jacked up. And I think to Slimmy's point, that's the other side of the whole feminist thing, the be independent thing that people are not realizing is at play here. Because according to what you guys say and what Kevin Samuels has said and what men have said, y'all don't care about all of that stuff. So you're the successful man, the high level man, the man he's not looking for another him.
I think that that's the reality for most men. I don't think that that's smart though.
You
I
don't.
think
I
that
think
I don't think it's smart for guys to not care. I'm not saying that women have to financially be on the same level as the guy. I am saying that a woman has to have just as much to lose as the guy for it to make sense for him, or else he's taking all of the risk.
I think I think that's a lie. If
What's a
that
lie?
most men would say that they don't care about how much money a woman would make, I think that's a bold faced lie.
I don't think it's a lie.
Well, if it's not, it's their pride token. Because if you
Is
don't
it?
care how much,
No, I don't. When a guy goes and approach a girl, I don't think that he's thinking that if she don't have a career, or if she's not at a certain level, that he's not going to still talk to her.
I think if she don't make a certain amount of money, he ain't gonna talk to her.
I think you're wrong.
I think I look in my bank account and I look at what kind of car you drive and what you got going on, and I can't pay for all of it. So you better make some kind of money.
I don't think that guys think that
I
far
think
ahead.
that's what. Well, I just think that's what most guys think. Like you have to think that you have to care about how much money a woman make if you can't pay for her shit.
I don't think that guys think that far ahead. I think they figuring it out as they go. I think that they just see uh, a person that they want to approach and they compliment, or they think about it, bro. Like women walk down the street and they could look like they the Fortune 500 CEO, and the dude on the corner, she might stop in the store just to get something to drink, or something. And the dude on the corner is gonna say, "Hey, sugar, you so fun." Like they gonna do whatever they gonna do, no matter what. Don't matter really what bracket that they in. They gonna shoot their shot.
Well,
Most a lot of
that's why that's would be why men fail. Because if I drive my little truck, my little American pickup truck, and I'm dating this girl who drive a Porsche, and then I better be like where you work at.
I don't think so.
Can I
But I
afford your
could be
Porsche?
wrong. I could be wrong. I don't think that anybody is money.
It's only lot.
I will
It's only
tell
like
you that I think that Slimmy probably has a mentality that doesn't matter to him, no matter what she on, no matter what she's driving. I could be wrong though.
in a woman's
When I don't care what a
income.
woman.
Well, I would say generally speaking, like a woman's income, like, all right, we're together. It's time to move in because we've passed that set amount of time. Like how much money you make, like how much house we can afford is like directly correlated to how much money your chick make most of the time, generally speaking, with most Americans.
See, this
I'm
is
not
why
I'm not going to the far left 1% of man that's supposed to pay for. I'm talking about most Americans, nigga. The woman's income is on the mortgage and her shit make the amount you can afford go up.
so
Huh?
this is why I think women do themselves a disservice, because why set yourself up for all of this rigmarole in the end? I got to worry about what level I'm on. I got to worry about all of this stuff when I can just find a man in the beginning if he has a really good plan and really good potential, like, and I can pretty much do a risk assessment and see that he's really going somewhere, he's just not there yet. I'd rather hitch myself to that than come around 1,000 years later trying to hitch myself to somebody that I gotta go oranges and apples with and all this other stuff because it's never gonna match up. I'm a woman and he's a man. It doesn't matter if I've made money and like all that stuff is not going to matter versus coming up together with somebody.
I commend you for rocking out with the man who's not where he needs to be in life.
I'm just saying as a woman, it's extra work. It's extra work to do all that later.
But there's also women who want to do that at the finish line and don't want to do none of that.
Yeah, and that's why they're sitting on the couch with their breast in their lap because they have to come later. They have to come later because they spent the time when their breast was sitting up doing effery.
That's literally the dynamic in this whole conversation. I want this man, this guy over here, up there, that guy way up over there in that tree, is what most women want, as opposed to.
But you were in the best position. You were in the best position earlier, and so everybody will always tell you in anything, do it when you're in the best position to get it.
Yeah, she wants some.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Kim.
No, I have a question for you guys because I mean, I agree that, basically women are kind of degreeing out themselves or, taking themselves out of the running because they're so far accomplished. But being that there's more women than men, the fact of the matter is some of these women are just not ever going to be paired up. And that's just what it is. So how does a woman then determine if she should just sit around and wait for a man to come rescue her, not go get the education, not go pursue her career in hopes that somebody's gonna come and rescue her? And for some people, it's just not going to happen. So what is she supposed to do?
You do it when you're young and you be intentional, like the white people, and start looking for your husband either at the end of high school or when you go to college. Go with the intention of finding a husband, not necessarily
Not like the white people.
trying to.
That's crazy.
Because we don't teach each other that though. Like,
I mean,
most of the women in the
Well,
black
you're
community,
the main one, Ma, that always been like, y'all always looking at the white man, what the white man do. That's what you always say.
because they are more inclined to be in relationships and be married compared to
I mean, this is what
black women. It's just the
my
truth.
daddy taught me. My daddy taught me two things: what I just explained, and also never marry. Try not to into a broken home. And that's it.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, that is. But groups of people aren't a monolith, man. Like we gotta. Never mind.
But I'm still.
We're not teaching each other as black women to get married. We're teaching each other to make a plan without the man involved.
I agree.
I literally just said that you was debating this just now, Molly. You were just debating this.
Because even if all the women went to college with the goal of finding a husband, they're not all going to do it.
I don't think all women want to get married, though. I think that's idealistic, but I don't think all women want to get married. You have some women that are genuinely not into men. So I don't think it's really going to matter. I think women need to take a step back, and we want men that are going to be more masculine than us, but we're super masculine. And then it makes our expectations extremely unrealistic.
I agree with that. I'm just wondering, what do people do in the meantime of hoping to get chosen? Do they show up at 45 like, okay,
well, that's the
I don't have a degree.
Do it early. Do it
but that's the
early.
problem
Why are
that
people
they're
waiting
hoping.
so late?
right?
Yeah, why?
Because
They're not being chosen for whatever the reason. I mean,
well,
to be honest, some people are not attractive. Some people have bad attitudes. Some people have bad
oh
teeth.
no. And the reason why I'm going to say no, because, and I don't like to call people this, but I have seen some of the have a man,
Mm-hmm.
and they will, it'll make you look and say, how did she get him?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well,
So again, I think it's that's not the focus, right? And most are looking so much at security, like, okay, well, I have to secure this, I have to secure that. What if the man doesn't do this? What if the man doesn't do that? Well, if you're focusing so much on that, you're not going to have plan A. You're going to have plan
mhm.
B.
And again,
Well,
I
and a
agree
lot
with
are taught
all of
to.
that. But statistically speaking, these numbers don't add up.
Because statistically speaking, they're not doing what we're talking about.
No, I'm
Well,
not
and a
saying
lot of
the
people
numbers.
are. A lot of women though are. You're encouraged to keep going career wise, education wise. So there's probably a lot of women who could be chosen, but they want to choose their career or their education first. They say, I'm going to focus on me first. I'm going to focus on my career first. So I don't think that it's that people are just sitting not being chosen. I mean, I'm sure there are some, but a lot of them are focused on them.
Right, and I don't disagree with that. But if you have 100 women and 50 men, it doesn't matter what all of these women are focused on. Some of them will
Well,
not be.
they haven't tried it for us to even have the statistics to even say that, because the women have not tried it. They're doing the complete opposite. They're going
Black one.
through.
She
Go
didn't
ahead,
cut
Molly. I'm
you off.
sorry.
Sorry. No,
Go
go
ahead,
ahead, Mika.
Molly.
Sorry.
Actually, Kim was talking and Mika cut her off, but whatever.
I didn't notice. But
I think I have a delay.
But the number, I mean, to your point,
I
Kim,
stab him.
there will the numbers are definitely not in the women's favor in general because it's more of us than guys. So some will either be sharing or won't get
That is
nobody.
actually not
But
true.
what's not true?
Dang.
If you
What's not
look it
true?
up, there are roughly an equal amount of men that there is to women. Actually, men outnumber women worldwide. Worldwide, they outnumber
By
women.
like
What
2%.
about
Like
over here in the United
it's so
States
marginal, it almost don't matter.
and then including gay people, gay men?
It's so
Well, I
marginal.
mean,
It's
we
literally like 51
I
to
think
like
we probably
49%.
talking,
It's so close.
Oh well, if it's even
it's
itself out,
also
then that's good. What'd you
but
say?
you're probably talking about these cities that people flock to, and then now the numbers are off because everybody wants to flock to this city, or this is the new thing. But if you look at the country as a whole, I don't think it's too much off. I go back to what I said earlier. I really think we don't have the statistics to say that something doesn't work or there's no man for each woman, because they haven't tried it.
Well, I
We
mean,
don't
if
have
the
10
numbers
years
are
worth of
evened
data to
off,
say
then
everybody did
that
this.
takes
Go
if
ahead.
the numbers are about the same, then yeah, that takes that off the table. Then it goes back to, are you making yourself like, what's your focus? Is your focus finding a man, or is your focus on self, on you? And I think that it's obvious that it's encouraged to focus on you. And now with social media, it's at least at one point it seemed more positive, like, get your education and all of that, and eventually get married. Now the focus is on you in more of a toxic way, girl boss, and do your own thing, and you don't need no man. Before it was just get yourself together first. Now it's like you don't even need a man. So that's encouraged even more, in my opinion.
yeah, I'm with because I know Slimmy does the conspiracy theories, and so does Molly with the program, and I'm with them in terms of like that's being pushed on us because there's not a desire for families. So if you can break us down before we ever get to the family part, it just won't happen, and we're easier to control one on one as opposed to like a unit.
I just think at some point, I get what you're saying, but at some point you have to be accountable for yourself, right? So when you're in high school, there are things that I know, at least when I was in high school, the kids used to always smoke weed. I've never done it, but I've had friends that have because they felt, they felt like they had to be cool or whatever like that, right? So you get met with, whatever the societal or peer pressures are, but it's up to you to actually figure out what you want for your life. And 9 times out of 10, people just rather go with the flow so they don't be out of step with everybody else, when you're not realizing that nobody else is gonna be there when you don't have any money, you don't have a man, you don't have kids, you don't have, like, I've I've just never been in a mind frame where I'm worried about what everybody else wants and not my own want.